Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm back at Young's with Gavin.
Hello.
And the 135, as you can see behind here. And Gavin, it's looking a lot better, so it's almost ready to paint.
Yeah, we're just waiting for some better weather really, so we can strip it down to its constituent parts, I suppose, like the chassis and the bodywork, and shot blast it and put it in primer, and we can see where we've got issues, etc. So
yeah.
More with like high spots and getting the finish that you want. So obviously going to take some like quite a lot of painting. So
yeah, we were just talking about the parts on the mud guards, about the holes and the cracks, and there's just a few little cosmetic things, isn't there? Which one?
Yeah, well, I said I don't think they're that bad.
Yeah,
like I said, it's a genuine straight tractor that is fairly tidy bodywork wise, so I don't think it'll take a lot for us to put it as you want it.
To bring it back to
how it would have been.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be better than when it left the factory.
No, that would be absolutely fantastic. So a new set of tyres. I did speak to you about a roll bar for it, but in the end we decided it's not the best solution because it's not original, is it? So
it hasn't got one at the moment. It didn't have one, so
yeah,
the choice is yours. But it's
keep it original.
If you're gonna use it, you'll find that you find that the shed you want to park it in, it won't fit in then.
Yeah, that's the trouble. Yeah.
Whilst they come on and off, it's always the way.
Yeah, I was trying to work out as well. The exhaust, was it white when it was new, or was it black?
Don't know. Probably would have thought it'd been white, but again, that's it's going to be, what do you want?
Yeah.
The white ones are just hard to keep white.
Yeah, and it'll get covered in muck and
but the nature of what it's it's an exhaust, isn't it? So it is going to go
black. Yeah,
and then you'll be forever painting it, and then you go, I just wish I'd put a black one on it. But again, that's personal choice, really.
Yeah.
So, and I think, like I said, when you get a bit further on and you see the bonnet in his top coat, and you say, actually, I want it like X, or you've seen another one, you actually have it.
You want it in that spec, yeah.
Yeah, I want it like that.
But it's had a reconditioned fuel injector, is that right?
Yeah, we've been through the fuel system, so all the injectors have been done. We've reconditioned the fuel pump so that would work. So it's your original pump with your injectors, and they've been completely overhauled. So it's what you brought in. It's just been cleaned up and working properly now.
And because it hasn't done much work before it came here, really, it's going to be hopefully in fairly good nick for many more years. So,
like I said, we've been through it all. We've done through everything that you spoke about, and we've checked everything over. Obviously, we had an issue with the front axle.
Yeah.
And you had an issue with the gearbox, which you've driven it now. And
yeah, I remember. It's fantastic. It's fine. It drives like a new tractor.
And that's the reality, isn't it? That's what you was looking for. So it is just a case now of we get a break in the weather where we can shot blast it and sort of get the first coat of primer on in the same day. Okay, so I'm back at the farm now, and I hope you guys saw the Massey Ferguson 135, which has been over at Cambridge now for about 6 or 7 months, something like that. I think I took it there earlier on last year, and it has been taking a while, but hopefully in the next couple of months it'll be ready to come back to the farm here. So I've just come into the grain store. We've recently serviced this tractor. It's looking like a little bit of a bombshell at the moment because we had some oil spill out of here when I was servicing some equipment with Jack the mechanic. And just over at the back here, this is where I'm planning to put the 135 in the future. I've got the flatbed trailer over here, which I've just been, I was having a look at the 135 to make sure it would go on this trailer this morning. So we'll head over there with that flatbed and pick it up. But yeah, what an interesting day heading over to Cambridge. It's been such a long time since I saw that tractor. And things haven't been easy because of the parts shortages and the way the world's going. It's been very difficult for Youngs to get the correct paint, all of the parts of that tractor, and they've been waiting as well for the weather to change so that they can paint the tractor, because if it's too humid, the paint will crack after a long time. So it's got to be done properly, and then it can sit in the back of this shed, and I'll probably take it out a few times of the year, maybe even use it for some equine jobs like rolling the gallops and doing things like that. So what else is going on with the farm at the moment? Well,
Some interesting times in the UK in farming. We've just planted the spring barley, we've planted our sugar beet. I've just got to this afternoon go and move a bird scarer onto the sugar beet because the pigeons have just started eating that. And we've managed to just buy our fertiliser from last year, so we have got a little bit of fertiliser this year. I was just reading at lunchtime today, in the EU, a lot of farms over there are now, for example in France, are ploughing up some of their environmental land, and they're really getting on with their farming production. They're also being subsidised with fertiliser, and I've just read that here in the UK we will be subsidised on basically doing good for the environment. So it's quite interesting. In the EU they're farming, and over here we're caring more for the environment, which is quite interesting. So just, you know, some interesting correlations there. For this farm it works quite well with looking after the environment because of the Norfolk Broads National Park. Half the farm is actually for the environment anyway, and then the rest of the farm here, which is on upland, we can grow crops. Recently we've been looking at growing lucerne, which is an alfalfa crop. Well, it's a nitrogen fixing legume, and the idea is that we can introduce it into the coppering rotation as a 5-year lay, and hopefully it's going to be a lower cost fertiliser solution for feeding the cattle and sheep here on the farm. So we're looking at ways of reducing the fertiliser bill. We've got the muck from the cattle, the sheep put a lot of goodness back into the soil as well, so we don't really use that much fertiliser, and the spring barley is quite a low nitrogen requiring crop anyway. You don't want to put too much nitrogen on it, otherwise you'll just burn it off. And the sugar beet we use fertiliser on, but again it's liquid nitrogen we put on there. It's fairly affordable, so for this farm I think it will be okay. We've just got to slightly change and adapt some of our farming methods, and I think as well implementing new crops such as the lucerne mix of a 5-year lay would be absolutely fantastic. Being a legume, it's nitrogen fixing, and it's going to be able to provide the cattle and sheep with plenty of food over the winter months. Because I was looking at maize, but the problem with maize is it's just too expensive to grow at the moment. And one thing with lucerne is that I'll hopefully be able to get a second or third cut off it. Because this farm is so light and sandy, I never really get much of a second cut on here for silage, because it's just so dry. And lucerne is capable of drought resistance. It's one of its key attributes, is it is drought resistance. So that's something we're looking into at the moment. Also looking at the 135 back. This tractor here, the 6R we just serviced, and this will be back on the cattle float next week. We've already taken the sheep out. We've been calving cows over these last few days. They're almost all calved now, and we'll be getting them out very soon. And I'm about to buy in some more calves from Meadow Quality. I'm hoping to get 20 young ones and bring them on as a small suckler herd. So it's all going well. We're still as well applying for the grant for the shed, the beef unit, and I'm very excited for putting the Defender on that Ivor Williams back there, and going and picking up that lovely classic 135. And when it's home, I will take it out and do some events. I think we're going to take it to the Norfolk show if we can get a slot there. And maybe if people want to come down, they can come and have a look at it, and we'll have an Olly's Farm banner by the tractor, so you can have a chat with me. So thank you very much for watching today's video. Stay positive, keep liking, keep subscribing and all of that good stuff, and I will catch you on the next one.